Hey, Jay Live. Baron, welcome to the show. Baron, welcome to the show. How are you?
Zhuzang!
Zhuzang, baby!
Zhuzang! Okay.
Yo, talk about the first half and now where the Bruins are in the driver's seat. What's been your thoughts on the performance by our UCLA Bruins tonight?
I love it, man. I love the way Cronin got them playing. They play hard. Similar to how Holland played, but without all the timeouts. You know what I mean? Like, Holland was a good coach, but he was a control freak.
Yeah. Shout out Coach Allen. Jesus,
hard to watch games because you limiting talent. You know what I mean? It's almost like you can do that shit. You can mastermind some shit. But I like how Mick Cronin get down because he do got some cold sets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he does.
Oriented, but he let his offensive players get off.
And talk about some of those offensive players. First, let's talk about Johnny Juzang. What do you like about his game? What do you like about his game,
Johnny Juzang! All my pro homies been calling me like, yo, he's a pro. He's a pro. Oh, yeah. So, you know why? He has a pro game.
Yeah, he does.
He has a pro game, and it's hard. It's hard to stop a dude who can shoot, who can also put it on the floor, pull up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And, he got a knack for scoring. And
yeah.
He's not a bad defender either.
No, what I love about him, though, is the ability to move without the basketball. He knows how to use screens very well at an early age, BD. And, he has that pro pace coming off. Knows when to speed up. Knows when to slow down. What's Jaime out there doing, BD? Talk about
Jaime. Get the ball to Jaime.
Talk about what you think about.
Bro, get the ball to Jaime, bro. We need to. Hey, bro, we need to be running this offense through Jaime. Okay.
So everything through Jaime. Why, BD?
Because we don't need long jumpers, but Juzang got a knack for scoring, bro.
You can't hate. It's too much.
Juzang.
It's too much.
I'm feeling something special right now. You feel what I'm saying? I like Juzang because he knows how to go get a bucket, bro. But I like Jaime because Jaime he is our best playmaker on the floor.
Right. But BD, as you know, as you get deeper into the tournament, you're going to have much more than just three good perimeter guys that are going to be pulling you through. What do the inside guys of UCLA have to do to step up for the Bruins to be a legitimate contender to make a Final Four?
Defense, and rebound.
Right.
Defense, and rebound, and finish. You know what I mean? If the big dudes can, Cody Riley, I think, next game after we win this one, next game has got to be his game. You know what I mean? And as you get down the stretch, you know how important it is, Chris, when y'all won it. Yeah. It's like you got to be anchored in the paint. You got to be able to get a bucket in the paint. You know what I mean? So I think it's really going to be on Tiger and the big guys.
Thank you. Let's put it on Tiger.
Yeah, because now it's guard time, bro. You know what I mean? Your guards got to win it for you, and your big dudes got to win it for you. You know what I mean? So you got to secure the paint, and you also have to, you got to have stellar guard play in order to win a national championship. Name me a national championship team that has not had a stellar guard performance or stellar solid guard performance,
Absolutely. It's one of the greatest guards to ever grace the hallowed grounds of Pauley Pavilion and the hills of Westwood. What is your opinion on Tiger Campbell? What's his upside, and how good do you really think he is, BD?
He's gutsy. He's steady. He's a winner. He takes big shots. I think for Tiger is going to he's been struggling offensively this year because I think he's been looking for his offense.
Not letting it come to him.
And a lot of times, especially for a point guard, it's hard to get in rhythm for yourself if not everybody else is syncing with you. So a lot of the shots that he misses, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like it's like a negative and a half, right? Because he's not getting going. Maybe long rebound or not, but nobody else is really, you know what I mean?
Hey, absolutely.
In the flow. And I think Tiger needs to come out and be more opportunistic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He needs to be more opportunistic, and he needs to be more of the setup guy.
Right. Shout out to DA and Term. They're in the building. So listen, let's talk about Jaime.
Shout out Deanne. Shout out Term.
Let's talk about Jaime Jaquez.
Washing my car. Term Term been washing my car for about 6 hours.
Hey, let's talk about Jaime. BD, I had a chance. I see the Truth, Paul Pierce, the Truth. Jason Crow is the director of that program, so I had a chance to coach Jaime on the EYBL circuit. Talk about why Jaime Jaquez is a pro.
Versatile, highly skilled. I'm not gonna say he does a little bit of everything. I'm gonna say he's a player.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because he's a player. That means
Yeah.
you put him out there, he
Yeah.
will figure out if you need him to play the 2, the 3, the 4. He's a player. It's not a do a little bit of everything. He's a player's player.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And he can play with the ball, without the ball, but his basketball IQ,
Yeah.
and his court awareness and his court presence.
Yeah.
When he has the ball, watch how everybody calms down.
Absolutely.
Watch how everybody moves, right?
Yes. Yep.
So he commands a certain presence that as he goes to the pro level, Luke Walton comes to mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A Shane Battier type presence.
Right.
Somebody that like, man, not only do I got a glue guy,
but he will knock
but
down.
I got somebody that is gonna give me a bucket.
Yep.
Kyle Anderson is another one.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure. No, I like Jaime's game a lot, BD. I think his toughness. I talked to his dad, and so he's getting up at 5 a.m. during the summers, all year round. Just he's on the grind. He doesn't he's one of those dudes that really does live in the gym like us.
Tiger.
Like us.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
What he got? I'm on the delay.
Opportunistic. He took the layup when he was supposed to.
Absolutely. BD, let's talk about youth sports coming back in the state of California, city of Los Angeles. Exciting time for us all. As you know, we went through a thing with COVID last year, and I mean, imagine, BD, when you're in high school, having your high school season taken away. You had to stay inside all the time. You couldn't go outside. You couldn't do shit. How do you view these kids, this generation that went through COVID and came out still with their head intact, their body and mind and soul in the right place?
Shit, man, I gotta give them a little props. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody, it was hard for us, just as people working and just normal people. And now for them kids to stay patient, you know what I mean? To be able to stay disciplined. You got to think that these kids ain't practiced with each other.
Man.
They work out in groups of 3s, right? They have to go to class on Zoom. You can't leave your dorm. You can't even walk around on campus, yo.
It's terrible.
And so, my heart goes out to all these kids in the NCAA. And then I'm also pissed about, the NCAA not taking care of our women.
Come on now. Talk about that.
Especially in COVID. So, what, it's like, what the fuck, yo? You know what I mean? Like, it's COVID, homie. And you mean to tell me you ain't got no... it
didn't make no sense.
Co-ed, stupid.
Real quick,
you know
real quick, BD, reset. KJ Live, Chris Johnson on with UCLA legend, Baron Davis, NBA All-Star. We're talking about the discrepancy between men's and women's basketball in the NCAA tournament. There was a young lady that came on. I forgot what team she played for, but she showed a video of her weight room. It was a flimsy little thing with weights, and then she showed the men's weight room.
Bro.
It wasn't even a room, bro.
They gave the girls some shake weights.
That was whack. Oh wow, the shake. Wow.
I mean, it was like the little dumbbell thing, the home dumbbell. That's all.
Absolutely. But BD, what can people like us do to bring more attention and to potentially change the way that women's basketball is viewed and treated by mainstream sports in America?
Well, I think we just have to dive in and to help amplifying their message and their cause.
Yeah.
Right? We can't just be sitting back, and people say, oh, because the men make all the money and shit like that. Like, that's just cool. But the NCAA make all the money.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And the least they can do, the very least that they can do, is make sure that our college athletes who sacrificing their health, right, who sacrifice and being away from home, right, can have the proper nutrients, the proper amenities, especially if they doing all this traveling and all this shit. It's like, for me, it's really just dive into it.
Yeah.
Right? Post it. retweeting. You know what I mean? Like we need the energy.
Yeah.
And, I would say we as the men, we got to go support. You know what I mean? We
Absolutely.
got to watch the games, but we also need to build up the platform and the voice of women's basketball so we have a destination. And I think, I was saying this just about the WNBA and women's basketball in general, is that they need their own platform,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because
Not tied to the NBA.
not tied to nothing but what they have, because they have a fan base, right?
Yes, they do.
They have, they have a community,
Right.
right? They have a culture, right?
Yep. Yep.
And it's hard for them to articulate that when they always have to be the second thought or the afterthought or the not marketed, right? So whatever dollars that you are using to market, whatever dollars that you're not using to market, right? Let's take all those dollars and put it towards, a platform. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
and once you have that platform, then you let the women dictate, you know what I mean? And you let the sport dictate how dope they really are.
Yes,
But it's
indeed.
hard because we're going to always marginalize them, right? We're going to always try and cast a shadow. They step up first, you know what I mean, and start donating salaries and things like that
Right. Right.
to Black Lives Matter,
Right.
right? And then we give all the credit on the other end instead of making that a unified thing. It's not always like a man woman thing. It's like, let's use basketball as this holistic to say like, yo, the women have their platform. This is basketball.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is all one holistic platform, one holistic community.
Sure.
And so the women need their amplifier.
They do. And one of the things that my show, Chris Johnson Live, is going to do, I've partnered with one of the top girls basketball event operators in the game, ASGR, at All-Star Girls Report, a guy by the name of Michael T. White. What we're going to do is I'm going to have a KJ Live deal I do over there at All-Star Girls Report. I'm going to interview women's basketball coaches, shakers and movers in the world of women's basketball, influencers, etc. And I'm going to use that platform to bring light to it. And the thing that I want to talk about, I have a sister that is going to be one of the greatest to ever play the game. Her name is Shiloh Johnson. Okay, just keep her. She's murderous. She's 12. She's beastie, long as I don't know what, jumper handles, everything. So my thing, and it's not just that. It's just enough is enough. Enough is enough with the BS. It's time that we all step up as men, as grown-ups now, and we got to go to bat for our sisters. We got to go to bat for our queens, our women out here that are making the moves and moving the ball in the right direction. They can't do it alone, though. So they need us. You feel me?
They need our
need
support,
us.
man. UCLA women's basketball,
Corey Close.
Need our support. They need our energy.
Shout out.
You know what I mean?
Shout out. No question.
I just love the game, bro. I just love the game, and when I be here, I just be trying to absorb the game and post. I'm watching the high school kids.
I know.
It was one. I'm watching the high school girls. They got dips and you know what I mean, wiggles and all that. Man, they got the flavor and the sauce, and so
for sure.
For me, I'm just enjoying the game and glad that I had the ability to be a part of it. You know what I mean? And and have my name, you know what I mean, on the street or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
in this
etched in stone.
and But I think basketball is not just it's such a global thing. It's not just what we doing here in LA or what we doing in New York or what we doing in the United States. It's really about how do we take this message and amplify it globally.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And BD, I love to talk about Slick and what you're doing with Slick and some of your basketball interests as far as media and amplifying things globally. Talk a little bit about what your involvement is on that side of things.
Yeah, Slick, we ain't fucking with no suckers. No, I'm just
hey, this is KJ Live. You can get that off. You can get that off on this show, bro.
We ain't fucking with no suckers. Sports, lifestyle, and culture. Shout out to DeAnthony Langston, our head of international partnerships.
Shout out DA. Shout out DA.
We got some big shit going on. Overseas, and
we're really gonna keep that under wraps, though. We'll keep that under wraps.
Just
unless you want to talk about it. Unless you want to talk about it.
I ain't gonna say too much of nothing, but when we be sitting around, we be talking about basketball from a global
Yeah.
perspective, and we just recently, um, you know, building out a platform in Africa.
Yeah. Oh,
Knowing that,
really?
yeah, knowing that NBA Africa is about to launch. So, I think the power of what we're building in digital give us an opportunity to amplify these voices and tell these stories from, for me, Slick is all about roses, right? There's always somebody who
Yes.
deserves something, and
Yes.
we trying to build as many stories or platforms, or have people come and build the stories that they want to tell, right? Because we feel like our culture has been marginalized in this sports world, and if ESPN and Fox are the only outlets,
Yeah.
I can't live with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Especially with all these great stories that are coming out of LA, and just the local shit. You know what I mean? Just like think about the NCAA, and all the great stories that we grew up living on, and now like the stories we lived through. It's like every year is a new year, and we need to make sure that we preserve our culture, man. You know what I'm saying?
No, the culture is number one. I mean, we can't keep losing recipes, as Michael Irvin says, and I think that we're in that place now where a lot of stuff isn't being transitioned from one
Yep.
generation to another. I mean, we are losing recipes, and it's our job, BD, as sort of the gatekeepers of the '90s and that era, because guess what? It was dominant for us. I think
Yes.
now we have the opportunity to bridge that. Now we're looked at as sort of influencers from that era. People, we're getting older, so now
Yeah.
we're heading into the 40s and the 50s and shit like that. So now it's sort of, we're looked at as
Yeah.
old
I'm
men.
still
We're looked at as
28.
oh
I'm
yeah.
still 30. What am I? 32.
Well, me personally,
Yeah,
I'm
you're getting up
45. I
there.
mean, I
Yeah.
know I look young, but I'm
Still
actually I'm an
32.
old fucking man. But
I'm thinking about coming back at 30 when I hit 33.
BD, talk about the Raymond Lewis story, man. You had me
Right.
over. Thanks for the invite for the
Thank you,
film.
bro. Thank you for going live from the studio. That shit was love, bro. That shit was solid.
I appreciate you,
That
man.
shit
Talk
was
about
really
the
solid.
film. Talk about the film, man. Your
I
involvement.
mean, I say this. I spent my whole life, my whole career, you know, following in the footsteps of Raymond Lewis, and never saw him play. Never knew what he looked like. And now having an opportunity, um, now I have an opportunity to just see him play, to see who he is, understand his story. I realized that I connected to him more than what I thought. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and Raymond Lewis been a dude that just like us from LA, like it was just something about him
hmm.
that I felt like was a big part of me. That East Side mentality, that taking everything in life personal.
Yeah, man.
You know,
Yeah.
um,
Talk about
but
the
he
East
was
Side mentality. They don't. So people don't understand, BD, about your core, your foundation, the East Side mentality. Just talk about that. Expand on that a little bit for me, bro.
yeah. I mean, East Side mentality is like you got to survive. Life is about surviving, right? And so you kind of got to have a I don't give a fuck attitude, because at some point you're going to be put in a situation in life or death, right? And when you're facing that situation, a lot of times when you with the energy and people around that, death is has a higher possibility than life, then you really don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And so sometimes, you you per- overprotect yourself,
Mm.
um, in fear of, what I mean, being taken advantage of.
Yeah, I hear you.
And so you like, for someone like Raymond, myself, a lot of we just take shit personal, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that shit can come back and bite you in the ass, or your pride, or like whatever like when we rest on our morals, when we rest on the decisions we gotta make it, especially coming from where we come from, because you know you gotta make a decision to stick to it. You can't be
yes.
switching up, you know what I mean, because that shows a
Commitment,
selflessness.
commitment.
Yeah, and I think just, and then on top of that, because we don't get shit, we don't have shit, and you know what I mean, nothing ever comes to us. It's like when you get some shit, you like, yo, okay, yeah, I'm up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
it
so, like, I
matters.
think that was the one thing about just watching it was like, yo, man, Raymond Lewis was just he was just like one game away. He was just like 1 week away from like, potentially being, one of the greatest to ever do it. And
Yeah,
come
I think
to LA.
no, I think that the thing that really stood out about Ray Lou and the whole movie, man, was just how outspoken he was during an era where it wasn't all good for black people to be outspoken. To let people know how big Ray Lou was. So he had Mike Wallace from 60 Minutes. He had Howard Cosell doing interviews and pieces on him. He had Bryant Gumbel doing an interview on him. These are icons
Dude,
and
these are
titans.
iconic. These are
Dude,
iconic reporters,
bruh.
sports icons.
Bruh, like I'm dropping. Like when I was sitting there, BD, at your spot, I'm looking. I'm like, damn, wait a minute. I'm counting. Like that's Mike Wallace. That's Bryant. So just sort of for the people out there, just to let you know, like this guy was the real deal.
He was
Holyfield.
something else. UCLA, baby.
Yes, good win by the
I see you,
Bruins.
Coach.
Good.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. My guy, Coach Clean.
Well, BD, listen, man.
I see you, Coach Clean.
Hey, my guy.
316 for
Let's
Coach
do it.
Clean.
Look, we got to get there. We got to beat Texas. So
Chrome
that
Donin.
listen. So we got to beat Texas. That's our next step. Shaka Smart and
Oh,
company.
yeah, dog. We had the playing game, huh? Damn,
Yeah, we had
dude.
the janky
Hey, dog, we
janky
gonna beat
jank.
Texas. I'm not. Who the coach of Texas?
Shaka Smart.
Oh,
Shaka
yeah, we gonna beat them.
Smart.
They
Yeah,
about
so
to
we
lose. Hey, bro, they about to lose, bro.
swear to God. Hold on. Let me
They
see.
are
I gotta
down
turn it to the game.
41-40 to
On God.
Abigail Christian.
Put that on God. Wait
That's
a minute.
everything.
I'm changing over. Hold on. I got my little phone TV.
Hey, this a dude out here smaller than Turn.
So he's like, I'm like, Terminator.
Dang.
Terminator, pound for pound, one of the realest to ever do it out of Los Angeles. Do not get it twisted. Okay, hold on. Let me see what's up with this Texas game. But BD, I know you got stuff to do, my guy.
Both games like Pee Wee Kirkland.
Now let's talk about termination for a second. No, I'm just kidding. BD, that's on the next show. Yo, I don't want to keep you all night, bro. I appreciate you coming on, my guy. I know you got a lot going on. I would love to catch up a little more officially with you. A real sit down to kind of really do the deep dive on Baron Davis. I had JR on, Toby, Jelani, everybody's been on, man. So thank you for showing up tonight, BD. I appreciate you. I'm actually coming on live with Toby in about 10 minutes. We're going to recap UCLA game with young Bailey.
I see you did a live with Sadaruski.
Yes, Sakuragi. Sadaruski.
Oh, Sadaruski.
I hate you. Sagaruski. I'm gonna call it that. Hey, JR's, man, he's so smooth, man.
JR Henderson told me one day, dog, in practice. I was like, come on, dog. Come on, JR. Fuck, man. Get off the bike so we can run. Run so we can get this shit over with. He said, man, this is nothing but a pit stop.
Swear to God. This is nothing but a pit stop. And you know how JR talks.
Hey, Bryce. This is nothing but a pit stop. Hey,
one of the realest, bro.
Oh, you're right. College is a pit stop.
Absolutely. And so the quicker you saw it that way, the quicker you realize what time it was. That's what we were about, bro. Hey, head of our time, bro. Head of our time, bro.
Thank you, Saga Taruski.
I hate you. Sakuragi, JR
Sakuragi.
Shout out, Jake. BD, thank you so much for joining, man. And until the next time, my brother, we'll get together. Hopefully, we'll recap and do this again if the Bruins are playing Texas, man. Hopefully next week, all right?
Yeah, next week we'll do it live from Slick Studio. Coach Moose.
Hold on, let's shout out Coach Moose. So Coach Moose is coming on next week, BD. I didn't tell you, but Moose will be in the building with KJ Live, the head coach of Brentwood and one of the legends, the true legends of Southern California basketball history. Okay? I'm going to put it on.
The almanac of
Please.
California basketball. Mr.
Please.
Moose. Hey, dude,
yes,
I did Moose, since Moose here. You know what? I was watching the games when UCLA was playing at home.
Yeah.
And I was upset. You know how they had the posters?
Yeah.
I knew UCLA changed when I looked behind the bench and I saw Jim Hill but I didn't see Papa Bailey. So I
Oh,
got a
come on,
bone to
man.
pick with UCLA. You know
Major.
what I mean? You got to put that poster, you know what I mean, on my big
Bruh,
dog in
bruh,
there.
no John
Hey,
Bailey, bruh.
he is
No
a
John,
staple.
bruh. Legend.
Bro,
Are
he's
you
a
kidding me?
staple. He is
Man,
a
they better get
staple,
with it.
dog. You know how
UCLA
like
better start getting with it, bruh.
you know how like when you like it's just shit that's just etched in your brain.
Yes,
You
yes,
got to
yes,
think like he's
yes.
been there. He was there since I was going to UCLA games when I was 10th grade.
Yes,
When
of
I went
course.
back to the pros, he was still there, bro.
Please, looking sweet
Shout out to
too.
Mr. Bailey, bro.
Mr.
Pop
Bailey.
Bailey.
Shout out to
Okay.
John Bailey. Moose said at least he put
At
his
least
mustache.
put his mustache. All right, I'm kidding.
All right, man.
Love,
Like, thanks, meeting.
bro.
Love you, bro.
Appreciate it.
Peace. Yep.